ride around the city with the top down. Anywhere you want, baby, we can go to town. Making money moves just to spend it all on you. Shawty hit my line, then you know we rendezvous.
So the beat I had, this beat, I mean, like I made it like 2 years ago maybe, and it was just sitting on my hard drive, not doing anything. And that's when I came across Kody on social media, and I was like, man, like this guy's got this smooth voice. He needs a smooth beat, and lo and behold, I got this thing sitting on my hard drive right here. So I was like, it's a perfect opportunity for him. And so I pitched it to him, threw it to him, and man, the rest is history. We went to Idea Studios out in Kalihi. My homie DJ Idea out there, man. Shout out to him for letting us use the spot. But yeah, we recorded audio over there. We recorded audio with the AV Club, which is like Kody's group of guys, the homies. We recorded audio at their studio out there. And yeah, man, like that's how the vocals came out pristine. I thought they came out really, really good. After a little bit of processing and stuff like that, this is what it sounds like by itself. So what I was doing here, just kind of panning things out left and right. This is just an intro. I have a telephone effect on it. Kind of creates some character within the vocals, I think. Just a little bit of extra stuff.
You ain't gotta worry about me playing games. You already know my loving ain't the same. I ain't out here searching for the fortune or the fame. Baby, if you want it, we could switch your last name.
That's like the first verse area, and then the hook.
Up in the car, we could ride around the city with the top down.
So the cool thing is that harmony in the back, I actually found while I was mixing the song. I heard it, and I was just like, that's gotta be in there. So I went to Melodyne. I physically made the melody myself, and then layered it over, and it came out so clean. It was nice.
I'll be coming through you, that's a guarantee. Yeah. All I got is time if it's you and me.
And the funny thing is that Kody is such a perfectionist, and like he's just so hard on himself sometimes that we literally went over that hook probably more times than I can remember. It was a lot. It was a lot of takes that we did. But I mean, I respect his passion and his motivation to get it to where he wants it to be, which is fine. But I think after like the 10th take, I was like, bro, I think we got it. And he's like, no, like that one little intonation I did in the like second word of it, I didn't like that. I was like, all right, we can do it again, I guess. Yeah. So, but I respect that totally, man. And I really like how passionate he is about music, and it just works out really well between us, and we work really good together. So, I guess the way that I start making beats in general is like I start with the melodies. I think melodies are really important. It's a good way to kind of get the ideas flowing. I think a good melody will draw more listeners in and keep them listening, right? So that's why I started with the melody. So I first started off with this Rhodes piano, and I kind of blended in this pad in it to kind of keep some movement in the main melody. And so yeah, that's what it sounds like. After I did that melody, I was like, okay, well, I kind of need something that can perk the listener's interest. So what I did is I added it's kind of like it's a pluck in a way, but very open, very spacious, right? Because when I was making the beat, I was keeping an artist, in my head at all times, trying to make sure that they have enough space within the frequency spectrum to be able to sing and their voice to come out, the right way. So what I did was with this pluck, it's open enough to where it's not going to clash too much with the vocals, but at the same time, it's interesting enough to where when you hear it, you're like, oh, what is that? It keeps your interest. It keeps your interest in it a lot. So then after that was all kind of set down and I had all that already kind of laid out, the meat and potatoes of the beat is already there. It's pretty much quote unquote finished, but I still think I needed to add some diversity coming into the hook to kind of build up that height, and then add more things to the second verse to kind of diversify it from the first verse, right? And then add a little bit more energy. So what I did was, in the hook, I added a acoustic guitar that just strums, super simple. But what was interesting was that day that I recorded it in the studio, it was raining, and through the audio you can actually hear the rain in the background, but it kind of plays into that sad boy sort of vibe. So I was like, might as well keep it, right? And then on top of that as well, on top of the acoustic guitar, I also added a reversed Rhodes guitar in the pad. I added a reverse melody to that to kind of create more movement in the hook and keep it more interesting, so that you don't get bored of that same melody that keeps repeating over and over and over again, within the track. And again, it's all just keeping space open. I have this amazing plugin over here called Microshift, which creates a lot of space and a little bit of detuning effect on it. Makes it really, really cool. But yeah, again, keeping the artist interest always, and making sure there's enough space for them so when they sing on it, it comes through. And then finally, for the second verse, I added in this electric guitar sort of pad kind of sound to it. It really, really changes the dynamics of the second verse and really makes it super, super interesting and really gets into that sad boy vibe, which I thought was really, really cool. So that's why I kind of added it in. And it also kind of pops in here and there from the outsides because I stereo panned it. So you kind of hear it here and there, come in and come out and come in and come out, which I think also creates more movement. Again, when I'm doing my beats and stuff, I love movement, I love lush chords, and I like when there's enough space for the singer to come through. So I'll go ahead and play the main melody with it in. And then I'll go ahead and take it out and you'll see the difference. So you can kind of see how it loses that movement, loses that energy and that kind of vibe, but when I throw it back in, you still kind of feel it. That's basically it for a lot of the main melody side of it. That's pretty much everything. A little bit of processing here and there to kind of make it more interesting and create more space, but that's about it. When it came to the drums, the kick, the snares, the hi-hats, all that, it's my main concern with that was to make it so that people can really nod their heads to it. I think my style of making beats is when I try to create beats for artists and stuff like that. I want to make sure that they can bop their head to it all the time, like their heads are nodding, and however I can get that to happen, that's one of my main concerns when I'm doing my drums. So when looking at the drums here, super simple things. I just got a double layer kick, and then we add in the hi-hats, right? And then one thing you're going to notice when I add the hi-hats in is I do 2 layers of hi-hats. So it's one layer that is consistently hitting, and then a little bit off tempo can be sometimes. I think that off the grid, sequencing is what they call it. I think that's really good to create a groove, a natural groove. And then under that first layer, I'll put in another layer of hi-hats that's just hitting on the half note, or like the 8th note, right? So half of whatever the first hi-hat's hitting, and that creates even more groove. And you'll see that, when I play it out, you're gonna really feel that energy come through. So you can really, I think at least you can hear the energy. But yeah, that's kind of what I like to do with my hi-hats, is make it double layered. After that, it's just a snare. It's typical snares. Nothing too special about them. And then pretty much after the snares, it's pretty simple. I added some open hi-hats in the chorus to hype it up some more. I had a snap in there that's off on the upbeats, And then I also have some percussion loops that are pan left and right, to kind of drive more movement into the hook as well. And then finally, to kind of wrap the whole beat up, is of course the 808 bass. I like when my bass is hitting hard. I like when it like really comes through and you can feel the straight like in your chest. You know what I mean? Like when you're listening to a song and you feel that bass just hit your chest all the time. I like that, and I like that in my beats a lot. So I just do in this 808 here, and it kind of flows with the melody as well. Not too overpowering to where the melody kind of gets drowned out, but it's powerful enough to where you're listening to it. It really gets you moving again. It gets your head going. And yeah, that's basically the entire beat. You know, working with Kody was a really fun, really great experience. Super talented kid, super humble. You know, just a real joy to work with, and I've had a really good time. So y'all go stream this song, man. Stream it, share it, do everything, blow it up, because I think it's a hit. I think it's a really great song. Then yeah, until next time, man. Peace out.
We could ride around the city with the top down. Anywhere you want, baby, we can go to town. Making money moves just to spend it all on you. Shawty hit my line.